you very much for joining us for the Power of Three equals Strategic Sales Systems, Saleslogix, and Salesfusion. My name is Kyle Blair. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Saleslogix, and I'll be your host today. I have a full agenda for our session, and I want to welcome everyone for joining us. We're doing an event with Strategic Sales Systems, which is one of our leading partners for Saleslogix. So a lot of the folks on the call here today will be Strategic Sales Systems customers and prospects. So we're hoping the folks here on the call are probably familiar with the Strategic Sales Systems team and some of our speakers today, which will include Sean Mohan, as well as from our team, we'll have Lorcan Malone, Senior VP and GM of Saleslogix. And then we'll also have Kevin Miller from the Salesfusion team joining us. We're going to basically start by giving you some news, events, and some of the offerings from Strategic Sales Systems and Extivia. And I think John will also be talking about that recent merger of those two companies. We'll also give you some updates on the Saleslogix business since the SwiftPage acquisition last year. We released a number of new editions of Saleslogix, some new features and new capabilities that we want to highlight to you. And one of those advances that we've made this year is the partnership with Salesfusion. Salesfusion is a provider of marketing automation solution, and they are basically our endorsed marketing automation solution available in the Saleslogix marketplace. So we have Kevin Miller, the Chief Marketing Officer from Salesfusion, joining us today, and he's going to go through the key features and functionality of Salesfusion and how that integrates with Saleslogix, and then he's going to give us a live demo of that and that integration and really touch on some of the key aspects of Salesfusion and how it can really elevate your marketing activities. Reminder, you can use the chat feature and send us your questions at any time during the event. We'll do a Q&A portion at the very end, but if you have some questions along the way that are relevant to something we're talking about, you might just jump in and interject your questions. So feel free to submit those to us at any time. We are recording today's webcast, and everybody that registered will get a copy of that recording so that you can view it on demand. Share it with a colleague if you like. Point of the presentation, I'll turn everything over to Sean Mohan. He's going to kick us off today and give us some updates on the Strategic Sales Systems business. Sean?
Well, good everyone. This is Sean Mohan. I really appreciate you joining today. We're real excited. The marketing automation capability that Kevin was going to show you today are really exciting and really will be something to help enhance your CRM system you have to us with Saleslogix. The integration is very tight, very slick, and I think what you'll see is that now you have a tool that you can help drive more leads to your CRM and then work them through Saleslogix. I want to take a little time, first of all, thank my existing customers for showing up. Appreciate your business and look forward to working with you in the future, and potential customers for the time today. Hopefully you'll see some exciting things and you'll can work with in the future. Take a moment for those of you who aren't from Strategic Sales Systems to introduce us. We were established in 1998, not 88, at the early stages of CRM, and we've been doing this now for over 15 years. Over 60 years of combined experience, and probably now we're growing and have more than that, as a matter of fact. But we've got 60 years of actually doing CRM consulting and implementations. We've done over 150 different CRM implementations and thousands of users. So we've got quite a bit of experience with CRM and specifically Saleslogix. We've been working with Saleslogix all since 1998. Late last year, early this year, we merged with a company named Extivia out of Denver, Colorado, and we've become a division of theirs. We'll continue to operate as a CRM division of Extivia, and this has been really helped us as far as helping us to be able to expand our business a little bit and offer other services. So, first of all, hopefully for those customers that have been with us for a long time, you've seen the same level of customer service. We always try to make that our number one goal, is make sure our customers are happy and that the service we provide meets their needs, is timely, and is effective. And I hope you have not seen any drop in that. In fact, I hope you've actually seen that's even gotten better. We've invested in additional resources. We brought on a new vice president of consulting services. He's worked with some of you and on some of your projects already, and that's Scott Jepson. Another senior developer with over 10 years of experience in Adam Panilla. And his brother Ben has also joined us as a developer. Many of you have known Hillary for all along. She's been with me at the very beginning. Hillary's now full-time and is now doing a lot more for us in the way of customer service and ensure that our invoices are timely and accurate. So she's doing a lot more for us. Some things that have changed a little bit for us is you may have noticed a new accounting system. So you may be seeing different names on bills, but we have implemented a new accounting system. And very soon we'll be implementing a new phone system. So we ask your patience as we learn the new phone system, and so that will be coming very soon. Some new products and services. We have built out, for those of you that are looking for project management capabilities within Saleslogix, we offer a project management tool named Caliper. This allows you to manage within Saleslogix your projects, times, activities, tasks, and it's completely integrated with a notification manager, so it sends out notifications as projects phases are completed or past due. It's really a strong project management system. So if anybody's looking for this kind of capability, please, reach out to us. And we've had our proximity search tool for a few years now, and one of the issues we had to do about a year or two ago was rewrite it. Google changed their licensing, so we had to write it, and we chose Bing from Microsoft. But we've also learned that many of our customers, the getting a Bing key has been A, problematic and B, expensive. So what we are going to do is we're rewriting proximity search, and we will now offer the Bing key. Strategic Sales System will now offer the Bing key as service. So you don't have to go out and deal with Microsoft to get a Bing license. You can just come to us. You'll get proximity search, and then as part of that, we will provide you the Bing key as service to you. Another new area we're working in, and it's partially because Scott's background, Scott Jepson's background, is now offer ERP resource consulting. Now in ERP software, we're not an ERP company, but what we are offering is if you need consulting in choosing a product and implementing a product, Scott has many years of experience doing that and has helped companies both implement ERP systems as well as done consulting to help them choose ERP systems. So if that's something that you're looking at, please give us a call. The final piece, that's really why we're here today, is the Salesfusion marketing automation. This tool will allow you, as I mentioned earlier, to your website. It'll allow you to drive promote more leads to your CRM system, allow you to track where your customers are, what they're interested in. And Kevin Miller's going to show you a lot of this, so I don't want to steal his thunder. I'll let him go over it, but we're real excited about it. Some of our customers have already adopted this solution, and we're very excited about it. Through our new merger with Extevia that we can offer you, if you're interested, is data management tools. If anybody would like to, we're offering a tuning of your Saleslogix database. We have the ability of coming in and tune your Saleslogix database from the SQL side and work with you around data warehousing. We've entered our business intelligence. Prior, we did ClickView and we did Spotfire, but now we're adding Jaffersoft into our business intelligence tool. And also, we can help you with your web portals. Extevia has over 150 consultants out there working in these areas, and so the breadth of services that we can now provide you is expanded considerably. Those of you that aren't necessarily our our customers, and we hope you become. Some of the things we can do for you is we can help with this process helping, especially around your CRM implementations. Our experience with CRM implementations allows us to apply best practices in areas and show people how they can get a return on their investment in a CRM implementation. We customize it for you and configure it to fit your exact needs and give you the CRM the way you want it, not the way it comes out of the box. We can help you with data migrations and integrations. So we've helped many of our customers with migrating their data to their Saleslogix system and integrating other systems to their Saleslogix system. So if that's of interest to you, please reach out to us. We offer end user and administrative training, and I appreciate everyone who's attended those classes with us. I mentioned our business intelligence tools. We've expanded those capabilities. We can actually work with you around your business process management outside of the CRM also. So before thank you.
Yeah, anything there as well?
I just appreciate everyone showing up, and I'll back over you now, Cal.
Great, John. Yeah, we have a great attendance on this webcast too. So we're really excited that everybody showed up for the event. And I want to introduce now Lorcan Malone. He's the Senior VP and GM of Saleslogix, and he's going to give you some updates on the business since the acquisition to SwiftPage. Lorcan.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. As Kyle said, my name is Lorcan Malone. I'm the GM for the global Saleslogix business, and just wanted to start out by thanking you all for business and welcoming the prospects to Saleslogix and SwiftPage world, and also to thank Sean for the invite to this customer call of his. Sean has been a long-time partner of ours and chairman of our partner committee, and just a fantastic person for us to work with. A little bit about Saleslogix. Obviously, we have a substantial business. It's a global business. We're in 70 countries. We CRM for the largest names in the world. We've got thousands of customers literally all over the world, and a number of you are on this list as well. So we've got a fantastically strong business and some great customers. We go to the next. Each year, and it's just over a year ago, SwiftPage acquired Saleslogix and Act from Sage, which was a very positive event for both products. It brought together the marketing strengths of SwiftPage with the CRM strengths of Act and Saleslogix, and we've really gone from strength to strength over the year, and that acquisition has been really well received by the market. And we'll talk about in the next page these are companies that own SwiftPage, and you can see we've got incredibly strong owners, going from Axel KKR, which are a multi-billion-dollar private equity firm in Silicon Valley, Jump Capital out of Chicago. It retained a 16% ownership, and Silicon Valley Bank. So we're very well backed, very well funded, a profitable CRM and marketing company, which is obviously very important. And we to win awards for Saleslogix. Recently, we won the champion level for mid-market CRM from Infotech. We are perennial winners of the ISM Best CRM Solutions. We're followed by Forrester, Gartner, Ovum, and Infotech, and we're really right there in the top systems in the world for mid-market CRM, and recognized so by the analysts. And we continue to work closely with the analysts. Next week, we're one of the co-sponsors of Gartner's CRM event in Orlando, which is the #1 CRM event in the country, and we're co-sponsors of that event. And what we very strong culture. It's all about innovation. It's about being customer-centric, and it's about work being fun with a purpose. And we've injected a huge amount of energy into both Act and Saleslogix. Since we've taken over the businesses, we've hired over 120 people. On this slide, you can see our vision and mission statement, and we really want to be one of the leading providers and good providers of CRM solution in the world. We go to the slide. That manifests itself in a number of ways, but obviously people on this call are interested in how it manifests itself in the product. And since we've been on Saleslogix just over a year ago, we really have stepped up the innovation engine and produced some strong new offerings in the market. We launched version 8.1, which is really an update to our platform last November. In October, we launched Mobile 3.0, which is very well received. We do have an award-winning mobile solution. We have Mobile 3.1 coming out over the next month or two with further improvements to it. And we're seeing right across our customer base a huge move to mobility. And not only did we launch the new mobile solution, but we also launched mobile-only licensing, which is completely unique in the market, which allows our customers to buy mobile-only users for a significant discount on the normal user price. As well as that, next one down, you can see Saleslogix XBAR. This is a brand new feature. We're launching it on a WebEx call next Monday. So if you haven't signed up for that call, go on to crmtreds.com and sign up for that call. We have over 400 customers registered for that call. There's interest in this feature. The feature itself will go to market in June. And in this feature, we bring CRM into your Outlook client. And this is part of our philosophy of driving adoption of CRM, because your CRM system will only be successful if people are using it. So through mobility and through our XBAR, we want to take CRM to where our users do work. And this is part of a strategy we call purpose-built applications. And this is gathering a lot of momentum for us right now. Next one down, and we've got Kevin Miller just to come on to talk to us about Salesfusion. Very, very important strategic partnership for us. Our large clients now are looking to implement marketing automation, and this is a partnership we signed in January. Already we have a number of clients talking to us about taking on the Salesfusion marketing automation solution. It's very integrated, and it really is a compelling story. And as I said earlier on, we've already added about 120 heads to the Acton Saleslogix organization since we took them on. A lot of things going on. Hopefully you're seeing that on the customer side. We try to communicate with you a lot, and more exciting things to happen later in the year. And with that, I'll hand back to Kevin Miller.
Kevin.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, so thank you, obviously, for the introduction. I want to just take a few minutes and tell you a little bit about who Salesfusion is, but first to kind of echo some of the things that Lorcan was saying. It's been an absolute pleasure to be working with the team at Saleslogix and SwiftPage over the course of the last some months that we've been finalizing the go-to-market strategy together, and what a great bunch it is out in Arizona. We've had a great time, and certainly there's a lot of excitement within the client base about the work that we're doing together. Certainly one solution is complementing the other. So very excited for where this is going, and we think we add some tremendous value to Saleslogix and vice versa. But as a company, who we are, we have been a marketing automation platform that's focused on lead management, have been in the space technically as a product now since 2007. We really went actively to market in 2009, but the product was kind of in initial development phases from 2007 through 2009. Today, about 750 companies have our software installed around the globe. Very much the company, Salesfusion, as the name would indicate, we're not called Marketing Fusion, we're called Salesfusion. We at Salesfusion very much believe that marketing as a standalone application is less than a marketing application that's integrated with sales and is driving lead management processes as its primary function. There's no shortage of solutions on the market that can be effectively in a sales campaign or capture leads from a website or build some basic lead scoring, but it's really connecting those technologies in a way that sales can see information and is interested in the information is what we think is really important, and that is being validated by the number of customers who are using CRM, who are adopting it, and driving benefits from it. It is a full-featured platform, so anything that a marketer is going to use on a day-in and day-out basis to work their lives whether it's email campaigns, whether that's pay-per-click management, social, all the different campaign channels have automated functionality inside of the application. So it really is an app built by marketers and for marketers. However, the strength of the application is derived from integrated platforms, Saleslogix. Next slide, please. Around marketing, it is around sales and marketing alignment. And any analyst, Forrester, Gartner, or otherwise, is going to have discussions about how companies that install marketing automation and connect it to their CRM financially perform better than companies that don't. And certainly marketing automation is enjoying a period of high adoption in the market because I think companies have realized that they have two problems that they have to solve. Number one is how do we get their sales and their marketing teams aligned and moving in the same direction? Number two, how do we accept the fact that so much product and services occurs on the web through, I guess, what I would classify as self-directed sales cycles, where people out there using this quote-unquote social web to learn about your products and services before they ever connect with you. So marketing technology can help to re-engage with people who are evaluating products and services without directly speaking to your salespeople. So when we look at the sales and marketing alignment, easy fix. And there's no shortage of solutions that can send great email campaigns or do some discrete functions of marketing that'll integrate well with the CRM. We'll be able to go in and I'll be able to look and see what emails Kevin Miller has received, and that's great. However, that's not a solution to the problem. The solution to the problem of marketing and sales alignment is process-driven. It's about managing what we classify marketing qualified leads and sales qualified leads. It's really kind of an evolution to see how companies at one stage to the other. And fortunately, where we're at today is the vast majority of companies are in either adversarial or disconnected stages. Now, adversarial is the toughest one to deal with because that situation where marketing is spending lots of money generating lots of unqualified suspects, which they classify as leads, give the sales typically in spreadsheet format or just load them into the CRM system without any intelligence, and they don't get any feedback back from sales. These large lists of suspects just kind of die down the line, and that causes mistrust between marketing and sales. And on the converse side of that, sales doesn't trust marketing because those that they're getting are nothing more than call lists that are really not qualified, and it's time for sale. So there's this adversarial relationship that occurs. We do see this in a lot of companies, and this where is one piece of a puzzle that can help fix that. Obviously, there's some beeping that has to go along that as well. Then you have disconnected. This is where folks, at least marketing and sales, will realize that they do have to work together, that there's a problem that they need to fix, but from a technology standpoint, they can't make their systems talk. And that's more so a problem on the marketing side, because marketers have historically gone out of IT to acquire typically inexpensive technology that they can, go through, evaluate, buy it, try it out, and likely that they can keep it. Based, subscription-based, $99 a month type tools. And those tend to not have any backbone to them that can integrate into a CRM system. So next stage up is, starting to adopt real technology for marketing automation. Technology that actually is built on a relational database and has a strategy for connecting other enterprise systems like CRM. And the integrated portion of that is great. That's where we at least have figured out which data from marketing has to go in CRM and how do we get it in there. And then how do we get data back out of CRM into the marketing system so that we can do ROI analysis. So that's great. And then the last stage is how do we automate certain processes, like the whole issue of nurture marketing. We talked to lots of people about what nurture marketing is and how you want to use it. Well, some very easy ways that marketing and sales can collaborate to do quote-unquote nurture marketing, and we'll explain those a little bit as we go through the demo. Next, please. Companies do this right. This is but one of many research that show, I think we might have accidentally jumped ahead one slide, one of graphs which is going to show that companies that do this well perform better financially. There was a study done by Aberdeen a few years ago which looked at the top performing companies from a revenue standpoint in their classes. What data are they taking from marketing and putting into CRM? And website page was number one. Because you think about it, if everybody is evaluating and kind of self-selling on the web, if we can use technology to try to find those people and figure out what they're looking at and what their interest levels are and facilitate engagement with sales, then we're on more. And what that graph's all about. You can go to the next slide, Tom. Ways that marketing automation can help bridge the gap between marketing and sales, iron out some of the friction that may exist between them, and also improve the overall performance of CRM system. And that's by facilitating engagement between sales and these quote-unquote self-directed buyers, keeping CRM clean of unqualified suspects, nurturing cold leads, alerting sales when there's high-value activity in real time, and then finally giving sales information that they actually care about they can use while they're on the telephone. And we'll dig into these ones each a little bit. Next slide, please. Setting engagement. Figuring who's on your website, why they're there, and how did they get there are three questions that both marketing and sales cares very deeply about. If we can answer that question, one of the things we can do is we can capture lead information, score that lead, a weight or a value to it. And those that score very high, we alert sales via email that there's a prospect who's identified who's on the website using meaningful activity and may encourage an outbound phone call to that person they're still on the site or perhaps just within a 24-hour period. So using the technology to figure out who that is great, and then setting up alerts so that we can say, okay, well, we know this person is in this region, so let's alert this sales rep that they have a lead on the website. And I promise you, if this is done properly, it'll become the best friend of marketing in the cases when you're able to deliver those leads to them in that fashion. And if those leads are properly vetted, then sales will certainly get along better. Next slide, please. So keeping CRM clean. Biggest, this is a great graph that I use frequently when trying to explain marketing automation to folks because Forrester did a really nice job. It did my work for me. And it was explaining one of the key problems that exists at most companies today. If we look at what salespeople care about and who that they want to talk to. I recently did a presentation in a room with 65 salespeople, and I asked the question, who do you want to talk to on the phone or who you want to have a meeting with? And it took a while to kind of ferret it out, but invariably the sales gave was, we want to talk to people who have the capacity to purchase. I want to talk to people who have no capacity to purchase their products or services, whether it's because they're the wrong company, they're disqualified, they're the wrong size, whatever. Most people always want to qualify, and they want to keep talking to people that have the capacity to buy. The problem is that's a very small subset of the universe, and marketing wants to speak to the entire universe. Marketers are trained, and you're talking to somebody with 24 years of direct marketing training. We talk to everybody, and I want to shout our message out to a very broad audience of people, because what marketers are essentially trying to do is we're out, think of a fisherman with a net. We're going to cast a very wide net, travel as much in, right, and then keep what we think is edible, if you so to speak. So if we can use that analogy. Unfortunately, how this has worked in the past is marketing will capture as many people as they possibly can and just throw them into the top of the funnel. Now, what does that creates a bottleneck between the departments, and sales looks at what marketing sent, and what they'll do is they just cherry pick. They cherry pick and say, well, I know someone at this company, at that company, at this company, and they'll immediately use their intuition to pick out who they should talk to. People with capacity to buy. Unfortunately, they're not going to get every one, and some are going to leak out the bottom, and they're going to go to a competitor's website. That's what marketing automation is trying to stop. Don't send a flood of unqualified suspects to sales. We want to send fewer and better leads to sales. Next. Nurturing. This is hugely important. One of the great functions that marketing automation provides, and when I say it, I mean a function that I'm a marketer at heart, and while I play both sales and marketing roles today, my allegiance always lies with marketing. And the pre-build a very content-specific campaign, set it up and leave it active, and let sales drive people into that campaign is one of the biggest things in sliced bread for a B2B marketer. And that's one of the things we're really focusing around. So sales may have that they're working, they're calling, they are leaving lots of voicemail messages. They just go into Saleslogix and check a box or select from a drop-down, call it nurture status, and choose active. And then Salesfusion is smart enough and has the right connection to Saleslogix. We could say, oh, we have a new lead. This person marked as nurture. We have that, and we could drop them into a nurture campaign. And then we could pursue actions. If the person clicks on this link, if the person opens the email in the string of communications, fire it back to the sales rep. So now instead of the sales rep making a couple of calls and then forgetting about that lead and then moving on, or making a couple of calls and dropping a nurture campaign, and they'll get an email alert back to them when that lead has an ask meaningful. And then they can try to make another attempt. They're much more likely to get that person on the phone when that person's interacting with your website. That's what nurture marketing is all about. That's where we're getting the whole blending of marketing activities and sales activities in a single campaign. Next slide, please. Email alerts are extremely popular when done properly. Setting alerts in our system is typically driven off of lead scoring. It's important to make sure that when you have things like lead scoring for the first time, you're getting help from folks like Sean and partners of Salesfusion who are getting very educated on how these processes work. So they'll be able to go into your company and say, okay, we're going to scoring rule up. We're going to teach you how to build a lead scoring rule. What you don't want to do is fire off 150 alerts to a sales rep in a single day because you'll have lost them, and they'll never trust marketing. And these, again, they'll simply ignore them. So it's extremely important that we fine-tune how and why we send a lead alert to a rep. We're typically doing that with lead scoring, and we're typically saying, we have a threshold. If he looks at 5 pages, downloads this, there's an email, and they have to have been active within the last 7 days, then we'll send the alert to sales. So this allows you to configure those rules and kind of adjust the base and the treble, if you will. Next slide. Insight into buyer interest behavior, and I think this is going to be a pivot point where we'll actually go in and show you what this information looks like in Saleslogix in just a moment. But what information can marketing provide to sales actually cares about? Let's talk over the years, having worked on both sides of the fence, the biggest mistake that marketers can make is share marketing metrics with a salesperson because people simply won't care about that. Marketing are very excited that they've had a 12% open rate and a 7.5% click-through rate. They've had a version of lead captures on a form of 50%. So the tricks that marketing needs to think about that leads them to believe that their campaign dollars are being well spent. Care about that. Sales cares about much more gradation. Oh, I've got a lead. Who are they? Come to us. What did they do when they came to us? To the capacity to buy. And marketing can play a very important role in figuring that out, at least at a high level. We could figure out if the company demographically fits, if they're geographically located where we sell, and we could start to look at what was engagement, their email responses, their event attendance, and we could present data in a way to sales people that they can actually use. And that's what we want to show you. Some of the work that we've been doing with which will lead to that. Next, please. Okay. So Kyle, you're probably going to want to switch over to me. Is that correct?
Yeah, here in just a sec. Screen.
And I'm just on my screen. Hang on here.
Share option, I believe.
Is that correct?
Yeah, coming up right now. Give it a sec here. Looks like it's still trying to run here. There we go. Yeah, I think we're in now.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's important to spend the majority of time in the side of the fence because, again, is what is capture marketing that's in sales and how can we present it. So in Saleslogix, when we come into a record, one of the first things I want to do is down here, you're going to notice we've got something called Salesfusion Web Activity. An object that we install that basically allows anybody with a Saleslogix license to go in and look at whacking. And essentially what they're doing is they're looking at who's on my website today. And this is basically an extension of what we call our website visitor tracking solution, which is attempting to identify accounts and who are coming to our website. So we can go in here and see we've got contact activity, activity. The activity lasts 30 days. We've got real-time lead activity, et cetera. So we have a lot of different views of who's on my website. So here I see that Kevin Miller's been on my website today. We can go ahead and click through Kevin's record, a regular Saleslogix record. Now, what you'll notice is that in the second level of tabs, down, Salesfusion actually installs, at least in the web version, we will install a number of tabs that will show mainly some of the data that we capture from marketing, and it's put into a way that salespeople can get out of it. For example, before I call a lead, I might click the web activity button because see the last time someone was on my website. Down here, you'll see it'll be ordered by date and time, and I can actually go through and click through and actually open up detail record, which would actually show me down to page level detail which pages Kevin has looked at and in what order. In webinars, if we're running events, if we're running lunch and learns, we have event management system inside of Salesfusion, which allows me to drive those events. I can go in and see which events Kevin registered for and which events he's attended. In the case of webinars, we can even pull integration and say Kevin spent 5 minutes in the webinar. You can see things like forms and landing pages. We have an entire landing page inside of our application that allows you to do contact us forms on your website. Page optimized landing pages, event registration forms. This will show you every form that somebody has completed, and you can actually go in and say, okay, well, what responses? How did Kevin respond to this? Or the questions I asked, and here's how he answered them. You can actually get in and additional detail about that. See things like what downloaded from the website, which email campaigns somebody has received, what's been clicked, what the status was, etc. This will really get into the whole notion, how do we present data to salespeople the way they care? We have a button here, and let me go back to that again. It's right here, Salesfusion dashboard that installs in Saleslogix. And when you click it, I have this thing because every time I push up, it's bringing the Citrix page down, or the WebEx page down. Okay, there we go. It brings us into a report. This is the report of everything that Kevin Miller's ever done. Just identified him. So it tells me, for example, that historically he's had a total of 93 web hits in the last 90 days. Email engagements and 5 page completes. And go down into these, for the week of April 28th, Kevin looked at 4 pages on the site. See, okay, these are Kevin looked at, and what looked at them, etc. What email campaigns that we sent to Kevin, you can actually go in and pop the content. These are the things that salespeople care about. Oh, great, Kevin looked at it. What the email? Kevin can just go in, or the rep can just go in and see the content of the email that Kevin opened. Again, this is all about context, providing context in a way that salespeople can use it, and salespeople start to adopt this. Fine, you walk down an aisle of salespeople and see a bunch of people on with their screen open, and they're looking at this information to help craft what their touch point referral should be like with a prospect. And when you do that well, you'll sell more, and that's much not a claim. That's a statistically backed outcome of doing this correctly. Do we have others that have to present today, or how are we fixed on time?
Kevin, you're our last presenter today, and we have about 20 minutes. We'll probably want to make sure we leave at least 5 or so for Q&A, but you can probably spend another 10 or 15 showing us some more things.
Oh, great. So a couple of other quick things. What I want to do is let me just switch over real quick to our main app, Salesfusion 360. Let me go ahead and get logged into that. Give a high-level overview of the information that we have in an application. Now, important to note that Salesfusion as a platform exists outside of CRM. What I was showing you is almost the end result of some of the connection points that we make in CRM. Usually a small group of people are going to use Salesfusion, and it's typically the marketing department. But everybody inside of Saleslogix that has a Saleslogix license can see, view, and interact with our information. And I'll flip back to Saleslogix and cover off on a few other pieces. But it's important to note that this is typically an app that's used by marketers. It's an app that is familiar to marketers because all the technology, the naming conventions, the language in it is all marketing specific. So when we go into the marketing tab, they understand the differences between segments and distribution lists. They understand the difference in content, assets, and templates, and provides a very rich catalog, for example, of templates that are in different formats for different uses and different purposes, whether they are responsive email templates, whether they're landing page templates. You know, this is the world that marketers want to work in and like to work in. Some of the things when we talk about process management and automating notion of nurture-based marketing. Once you have a very good connection between your marketing automation application and your CRM system, there's a lot of very compelling things that you could do. And I was talking a little bit earlier about one of those, which was the whole concept of marketing. So if I could kind of compact the whole process into 5 minutes, how I would explain that is we send out emails, we drive people to landing pages, we evaluate what they do on our website through web forensics, we invite them to events. So driving a lot of programs and you're driving a lot of interactions here at the top. What we do is use our lead answer, build a profile of who we think a good lead is. Now, it's going to note that these profiles are typically built with collaboration between marketing and sales. So here, in a profile, you may look at Webtivity and say, I want people who are looking at my pricing page, and I'm going to give them a point value. I want them on my website and look at more than 5 pages. I'm going to give them a point value. I want people that have specifically opened this email campaign. I'm going to give a point value. And I want to give more points to people who open our emails. So you go in and start to value to different things in the system. Landing is a great example. I want people that have been on my corporate landing page, and I want people who said their product interest was product A. Attend an event. A lot of this, which comes from CRM. So I want people who are in the U.S. and over 500 million. Let's start to use some demographic and firmographic information that we can append to a record. At the end, these are relatively arbitrary numbers. What you're trying to do is say, you know, what are the combined activities that are going to be that this prospect is ready to be engaged with. We call those SQLs or sales qualified leads. Now you can call them whatever you want. You can call them gold, silver, bronze. You can call them red, green light, cold, warm. We just call SQL, sales qualified leads. It's a relatively standardized term that's coming out, MQL versus SQL. And SQL is somebody who had an aggregate amount of activity that leads you to believe they're interested. Somebody that's been validated and has had an initial interaction. From an SQL standpoint, we've just designated that it's somebody with 51 points or more. 2 is we can set actions such as add that to CRM, add it to CRM, send an alert, add a campaign. So there's a variety of different levers we can pull achievement of a certain lead score. Okay, so part of the issue is about the programs, right? So marketers use a lot of these programs to do their cool stuff. Half of the application is about analyzing behavior. What are they doing? Are they responding? Are they coming to my site? Are they coming and reading my blog? Is then CRM. It can be done in a lot of different ways. We could do ROI analysis, where we can actually communicate straight through to the opportunity. Or we get nurture marketing, right? So this is one of the more popular things that companies are starting to really get their heads around and adopt. So let's say, for example, we push over into CRM, and that, well, we can have a campaign, short one. We can have a pre-built campaign. Campaign can have a series of communications that are designed to elicit additional interaction. Sale people into this campaign from a variety of different places. Okay? So this campaign, send out an initial email, and open up the actual email, and with HTML, it's just an email, et cetera, et cetera. And we could say, well, if it's on this particular link in the email, the answer to that question is yes. then CRM task, which sets back inside of Saleslogix, or notify the contact owner that somebody something, right? Kind of a give and take back and forth between systems. Salespeople can get people into one of these campaigns. It's very cool, really. They can do a couple of things. Back in Saleslogix, they'd be sitting here at the Sent Emails tab and say, yeah, I've been trying. I can't get this guy on the phone, etc. Let me add him to a nurture campaign. And they go up here and pick a nurture campaign and basically add them to it. Okay. In the Saleslogix screen, the person contact record, what we'll typically do is we'll add a type field in here or a checkbox here. We'll add an additional field in the Saleslogix, which says campaign. And then what happens is we're continuously pinging the Saleslogix database. We'll say, oh, now it's been nurture. Let's add them to that campaign. But again, we're sending back and forth alerts to sales to let us know that lead has had more actions. So that, at the end of the day, is really kind of the essence of nurture marketing process. I want to switch back into Saleslogix a second and round out a couple of quick things. It's important to note that we have built key integration points, such as the ability to view through our custom objects that we install through file some of the key functions of the marketing automation app. We also allow you to view the marketing intelligence dashboard. The ability to send campaigns, and we synchronize with campaigns in Saleslogix, where we can actually add some additional data to a Saleslogix campaign. So, user of the campaign. You could build a campaign inside of Saleslogix, and you'll see the grayed out boxes, additional fields that we add to the standard campaign table, which are tracking things like how many emails you've sent, how many are unopened, how many are not reported, forwarded, etc. You can even go as far as launch our email designer right from a campaign. It'll open our email designer up, and will allow you to go in and modify the email, do this version, testing, etc. Actions that we have built for companies that want to do some additional work inside of Saleslogix. This fits more in line with the with the Saleslogix e-marketing tool Swift page. It has some functionality to that. There's a lot of things in our app outside of the traditional e-marketing functionality that we do differently than Swift page. So there's always, there's potentially use Swift page, there's potentially use for Saleslogix, depending on what any one company's needs may be. So a couple of things to note. That's on S-Data. So we look back to version 7.5.2. We integrate with both premise-based versions and web versions. And we are, of course, supporting and doing a lot of work with the folks out in Arizona on the 8.1 and future releases to make sure we're all locked in step on that. Some of the great features that Saleslogix is adding to the application. We go as far as even synchronizing back and forth lists between the systems. So if salespeople are going out and creating lists, we can potentially pull those down into Salesfusion and mail to those lists. So there's a lot of deep points between two applications. This integration is not new. The partnership in its current structure is newer this year, but we've been integrating through Saleslogix now for a good 2.5 years, going back some time. It's a pleasure to have been involved in it back through, I think it was probably late 2010 when we first started our integrations with Saleslogix and had our customers on 7.5.2. So we're not, we've been at it a while. We've got a lot of customers who are on it, big and small, in a lot of different industries with a lot of great case studies. I'm going to be in Florida next week at the Serious Decisions Summit. It's one of the premier events for what we marketing automation, and I'm actually presenting a case study on a Saleslogix customer, a cover, and certainly excited to do that. So that's going to wrap up much of it, and we'll turn it back to the sponsors and thank everybody for ran on about our product for a while.
Great. I had actually a couple of questions. One I think you just answered. Someone was asking if you can integrate Salesfusion with Saleslogix LAN and web, and the answer is yes. And I think you just addressed that. But someone else was asking.
Yeah, I'll be clear. There's a few slight differences between those two, but the back-end database between the where the land integrates identical SalesFusion. There's some, for example, these buttons here don't show up out of the box in the LAN. We have to do some additional work that needs to be done to make those show up. But otherwise, yes, we integrate with the LAN. Any of our clients are on the LAN.
And if it's possible for you to identify the IP addresses of people that you're marketing to, and if so, how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if I go over here into the main application, I'll go into our web forensics tracking solution. So when you come into our tracker, let me go here and see 1 second. Look into my production system. So it is there. Okay, so we identify two ways. They are either going to click through the email campaign, they're going to fill out a form. So here we've got Jennifer Reynolds from Day. We know who she is because she came in. The source here is email campaign. We know this to her email address. We did that. Also identify companies. Okay, so we got UPS, Universal Service. We know who this person is because this person has not done it yet. They haven't filled out a form or they haven't cleared an email. But with company, we do what's called a reverse IP append, which is basically going out to some global back-end database saying who owns this IP address. That's where that's replicated. And then you're going to have things like online. We have no idea who it is. Right? So they're on a DHCP, not their IP, or IP address is owned by an ISP, and they haven't filled anything out yet, so there's no real information about them yet. If they do on a forum somewhere down the road, we'll, the same machine, we'll go back and say, oh, well, they were on our site May 15th, and we looked at these 5 pages. But the idea is you want to use the email campaigns to drive a lot of very good content out to your house database, as many people as you possibly can, by having through offer educational content, and then through your site, you'll be able to identify who they are that way.
Yeah, additional questions. I'm wondering about the pricing related to SalesFusion. Can you give us kind of a quick preview of that?
Well, so the pricing for SalesFusion is subscription-based. It's a monthly fee. We are a SaaS application. It is not based on user licenses. It is predominantly based on your day size, and the prices can range from anywhere from $90 a month up to $1,000 or more per month, depending on your database. So it's a very simplistic pricing structure. It's just basically a flat rate. Our website, we pricing on our website, so you can go to salesfusion.com. You'll see right at the top a tab on you can have a look at the different pricing tiers.
Great. Yeah. If you want to pass the presenter role back over to me, we have an additional question. I have a slide that'll actually kind of help answer it, I believe.
I hit start sharing.
There you go. Let's see here. And become the presenter here. So I think we're good there.
Yeah, back. Yep.
Right. Someone's asking if they could set up a demo one-to-one on SalesFusion. And so the good thing is Strategic Sales System has a special offer available for all of our webcast attendees. They're offering 2 free hours of SalesFusion training to a customer who wants to sign up for this Fusion integration to Saleslogix in May. And so you'd want to contact Strategic Sales Systems to take advantage of that offer, as well as to schedule one-on-one demos with SalesFusion and discuss your particular instance and what it would take to integrate your solution. It'd be great to do that with Sean, your partner, because they'll have some insight into any customizations you might have or other add-ins that are into the mix that might need to be taken into account. So that's where we want to start. I do also want to preview, though, that we have our Saleslogix XBAR webcast next week. This is the XBAR that Lorcan Malone was talking about earlier in our session, and we're doing basically a grand unveiling of this webcast on Monday, May 19th at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're doing this actually live from the Gartner Customer 360 Summit in Orlando, Florida. So we're going to be doing that from the show. And you can register for that event at crmthreads.com. That's basically your one-stop shop for all of our XR updates and news, and that's where we post links to events and webcasts and so forth. Another reminder, please check out the Saleslogix community. It's just community.saleslogix.com. sign up for the Saleslogix Journal. That's our public blog. Another great way to get notified of updates, announcements, events, or just great content and topics on sales, marketing automation, and how to integrate and build an optimal solution. That really takes us to the end of today's show. I want to make sure, Sean, you have an opportunity to say any last messages for our audience today.
Yes, Kyle. And Kevin, thank you very much also. And Lorcan, if you're out there, thank you. I wanted to just, first of all, if you need to contact me, I'm probably not the right person to contact. Most of you know Mike's the person to contact, so reach out to him. And certainly if he's available, I'm glad to jump in there. The other piece that's coming out next week is really exciting. I've seen it in demonstrations of it. And for all of our customers that are currently on maintenance, this is going to be available to you. You need to give us a call after you see it, but it's really an exciting tool, and it's really going to extend the functionality and the capabilities that you're already using and make it even easier for your users to get to that information. So that's really all I have. Like I said, I want to thank everybody, all our existing customers. Thank you for your business, and prospective customers, we look forward to the opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, for everyone here on the Saleslogix team and also from the Salesfusion team, we really appreciate your time on the call. Please visit our websites. You can see them here on the slides, and have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Appreciate it.